I'm in Mount Everest. Pretty cool landscape, huh?
Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Kasmerick, and if you chose this lesson, you were choosing to draw a landscape. Anytime I say landscape, we do a clap clap. A landscape is a work of art with trees or houses or anything outside. And so today, with a piece of paper, with a pencil, I'm going to use a Sharpie marker because, for one, I love Sharpie markers, and two, it'll be easier for you to see what I'm drawing. So you can use any type of writing utensil you can find in a piece of paper, and we are going to get started. I'm leaving these landscapes very simple, so you have the option to add anything you want to your landscape. But the most important thing about any landscape is a horizon line. A horizon line is a line that goes across your paper to show us where the front of the picture is, the foreground, the middle ground, and the background. The background would be your sky and stuff that's way in the back. And by doing this, by drawing a line, which is an element of art, we can create space, which is super fun. So with just one line, we can create two elements of art. Pretty exciting. You can put your horizon line anywhere you want. The higher it goes, the more of the front area, the foreground you would see. The lower you draw your horizon line, the more of a background, the sky and stuff way in the back you would see. Totally up to you. I just think for today, I'm gonna make my foreground, my horizon line, somewhere right here. I'm just going to draw a line across. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight because the ground isn't straight. You can make it straight if you want, or you can make it a little lumpy bumpy. Totally up to you. So here is now my foreground. My middle ground is here, and my background's going to be way back here. You can even draw more horizon lines. You could draw multiple horizon lines. And you can turn this landscape into a seascape. You can make a desert, a jungle, something like your backyard. You can make a forest. You can turn this into anything you want. That's the beauty of art, is you are the artist and you can decide where your line takes you. So I'm going to keep it simple and I'm going to add some shapes. When I add some shapes, which is another element of art, I can create buildings. I would love to create some buildings. And I'm also going to create a road. So my road, you can make your road going across this way, or you can create your road to go this way. Check this out. This is so fun. I'm going to find the center of my paper, and my road is going to come out to make it look like you can go into the picture. That's like that space we talked about. So from the center here, I'm going to draw a diagonal line down, and back to the center, another diagonal line down. And what shape is that? Can anyone identify what shape that is? It's a triangle, right? By creating this big triangle, I make looks like a road, like I'm driving a car and I'm going into the sunset. Pretty awesome. So now I can add more details to my drawing. By adding some details, I'm making it more realistic. Back to those shapes, right? So maybe I want to add a house. That would be really cool. So if I draw a house down here, it has to be pretty big because it's very close to me. But if I draw houses back here, they must be smaller because they're further away. So I'm going to start with, on the horizon line, I'm going to start with a square. And that house is pretty small because it's quite far away. And I'm going to add a triangle to it. And a lot of homes have garages attached or next to, so I'm going to add a garage. And I can add as many details as I want. I think I'm going to add a garage door and a door and some windows. So I just drew a whole bunch of shapes, and adding those shapes together, I created a house and a garage. Now, there's got to be a way for this house to get to this road, right? Just like you guys have at home. maybe a driveway. So I'm gonna make a driveway here. So I'm gonna start with we'll start with the garage because the car has to go out. So I'm gonna come around this way and around this way. So that way, if somebody's driving on the road, they could pull in their driveway. And I'm even gonna add a little walkway here too, because a lot of times you have little walkways to there. At least that's how my house is. There's a little walkway in the front. Pretty cool, huh? Now, like I said, you don't have to follow what I'm doing. You can create your very own landscape with trees, houses. You can make a forest, a jungle. You can turn this into a beach with water and crabs and little beach balls. So I'm just drawing one version, but you are the artist and you are allowed to draw this however you want. So let me think here. I think I need to add some trees. So that if I have a tree here, like I said, it would be much bigger. So I'm gonna add a very big tree here with 2 lines. These are parallel lines because they're running next to each other. And then I like to draw some parallel lines, branches coming off of my tree. So these are all my branches. And if you notice, because this tree is much bigger, it's gonna come in front of my house slightly. And that's okay. That's called overlapping. So then I get closer to the edge of my trees and I add my little branches. Okay, and then I go in and I'm making a green tree. I can add some swoopy lines here. And this is gonna be all the green. And I will color this in with green. Or if you wanted to make a fall tree, you can make a fall tree and add oranges and yellows. But there is some overlapping here. And since I'm using a Sharpie, I can't erase. So I'm just gonna make sure I color really heavy over that so it covers up my house slightly. Now, if I were to make a tree next to my garage, it shouldn't be the same size. It would be smaller. So I'm gonna make a teensy tree next to my garage. Draw my branches, just a couple because the tree is small. And the green, make some little fluff lines. So now you can see that we're using a lot of elements of art. We're using line, we're using shape, we're using space because we're showing distance, and I'm also using texture. Okay, texture is the way something feels, and I added some lines to make my tree feel a certain way. So we can add so much more. I'm gonna add some more trees, I'm gonna make some roads here, and then I'm gonna work on the background. I love mountains. I draw mountains all the time and paint them. So I think in the background here, I'm just gonna add some beautiful mountains. My cousin lives in Utah and she sends me pictures of where she lives, and there's beautiful mountains by her. So I'm gonna draw some mountains. Oops, I smeared my paper. That's okay. There's my mountains and make a little area back there. It's gonna be a nice, beautiful sunny day. So I have my sun, maybe some clouds, some scribbly cloud lines. I can add some texture and detail to my mountains. Okay. And I'm also going to make my road a little more realistic. So if you remember when you're driving along on the road, the little dots, the little dashed lines are pretty small when they're farther away. And then as you get closer, they get bigger and wider. So my lines go from really small to bigger, 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 bigger. And then I'm also going to add like a little sidewalk here. And some grass. So this is great texture. This shows us that there's grass. You could add some flowers here. There could even be some rocks hanging out. Okay. What else can I add? I'm trying to think of different things I could add to my art. I want to give you as many options as you can so you can make your art extra special. Oh, I remember some kids like to make playgrounds. That's always been a favorite. I've heard a lot of times kids that are like, Mrs. K, can you show me how to make like a swing set or a slide? So if you draw a horizontal line and lines coming down, and I have some, it's coming off my paper, and that's okay. You can make a little swing set with this little seats. Maybe even, what can I add here? Like a rock wall or like a rope thing. Something for the kids to climb on. And I'm just gonna add lots of more, I'm gonna add some more trees here. And that tree is further away, so it's kind of medium sized. And if I did a tree closer, it would be bigger. And the ones over here would be teensy tiny. They look like little broccolis. Okay, oh, I'm a left-hander, so I always constantly am smearing my art. That's the joys of being a lefty. Anybody else left-handed? Give me a thumbs up if you're a lefty. All right, so I'm loving my art, and I have some coloring supplies in my class, in my art room at home, so I'm gonna color this. I don't want to, I can't expect that everybody has coloring supplies, and I don't wanna make you do coloring if you want to keep your art in black and white. So if you would like to color this, you can. You can use paints, markers, crayons, colored pencils, anything you can find at home to color. I love seeing color. Remember, element of art is color, baby, color. So feel free to fill this in. It's just that I don't want to, I can't expect that everybody has every color at home. So I'm gonna leave mine in black and white, but I cannot wait to see what your landscapes look like when they're done. So bye, see you later.